Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I wanted to do something that I would have worn on Easter, and I know no one's gonna be going anywhere on Easter, but I still wanted to do something that I would have worn. But makeup does kind of de-stress. It's a good way for me to de-stress and take my mind off everything, so I still wanted to sit down and do a look that I would have worn on Easter. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer. Now I just got this in an Ipsy bag. I've never tried it before. It's new to me. The only hydrating primer I have is the Smashbox Primerizer. So that's really the only product that I can compare this to. So this is definitely thicker than Primerizer. It does feel hydrating. I think the Primerizer definitely hydrates more, but I like the feeling of it. It's not really tacky. It did sink into my skin, which is good. So we'll see how something sits on top of it. I'm going to go in with the First Aid Beauty Triple Protection Skin Tint with Goji Berry. I have multiple shades of this, so I'm just going to mix them. I have the shade Medium and Fair, so probably gonna put a little bit more of the medium than I normally would. I'm going to blend this out with the IT Cosmetics Airbrush number 101. And this tends to dry really quickly, so I just like doing each side at a time. Get out of here. And I use a brush. With this one, it just works better for me. I have tried using a sponge, but I think this formula is just better for a brush. It just lays on the skin nicer than with a sponge. Most foundations I do use a sponge, just this one and the Dior Backstage foundation, that I use a brush with as well. I do like this tint. It does have SPF. It's SPF 30, which is really nice since I live in Florida. So I do need that SPF every day. Even if I am not just sitting in the sun, I'm still being exposed to the sun. So I like having a foundation or any skin tint, tinted moisturizer that has SPF in it. It's just kind of an extra step that I don't need to do. I don't need to put an extra layer of sunscreen on underneath my makeup. It's kind of a 2-in-1 for me, which is nice. It saves me time. Okay, so this is very, very light coverage. I do have a couple blemishes, but I'm not really going anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. If you are looking to cover anything up, this is probably not the product you want, but I still think this product does a good job at giving it a nice layer, and it doesn't feel too tacky. I don't normally put powder over this. I sometimes do, but it's a nice natural feeling. It doesn't feel like you have too much on your skin, so I like it. And it's a nice everyday foundation. I wear this to work a lot. Next, I'm going in with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aquacealer. Now this one's really nice for a light coverage concealer. So for an everyday look like this one is, it's just a nice light coverage just to give something under the eye. It doesn't cover much. And with my dark circles, I kind of need more full coverage if I'm really doing a full face of makeup or I'm going somewhere that I need to cover up. But for this type of look, I wanted to do something really light. So I think it looks good under the eyes. It's just, it just doesn't cover as much as I would want if I were looking for a full coverage, but it's not where I'm going for, so this one works. Now this I will set. I am just using the Nars Translucent Crystal Powder, and I'm using I'm actually using a foundation brush. This is the LUXIE 660 Precision Foundation Brush. But I like it for powder. I use this all the time for my under eyes, so I will continue to do that. I don't even know if I've used this as a foundation brush. Again, like I said, I don't use a brush very often, and when I do, I have a few brushes that I tend to go back and forth with. So now I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which is very, very common. I just want to add some color to my skin. And since I have a light coverage foundation, I don't want this to look too intense because that would kind of just throw off the look a little bit. Okay, so I'm only going to do a little bit. Okay, so I think that's good enough. I just wanted to give some sort of color. I love that bronzer. I use it all the time and I always go back for it. It's a good color for me. It's really, really pigmented, so I can't use too much or it would just look ridiculous. I use it to contour sometimes too. So it just sits well, it blends well. So I continue to purchase it. You can find it at the drugstore. I'm gonna quickly go in with blush. This is the e.l.f. blush in Always Cheeky. It's a nice light pinky peach, perfect for spring. Just wanted to add some color to my cheeks. Okay, that's good. And then this next one, this one only a little bit intense, this is the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm. So this one is really, really pigmented. You have to be really careful with this one. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. Yeah, and this one has a purple reflect to it, which I thought was perfect for today's look because I'm going to do something that's purple. It has glitter in it, which I normally don't like for highlighters, but I really like this one, so I wanted just to see how it would look with everything. I like it a lot. I mean, this was like a light dusting. If I were to go in with a heavy hand, this one would be a crazy highlight. I've only done that once or twice. One was not on purpose, so I had to kind of brush it out a little bit, but I really like these. These are really, really great. And a little goes a very, very long way. I'm just gonna quickly do my brows off camera and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that was really quick. I just used the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil. I use this all the time just to fill in my brows. When I think of spring and pastel, I think of purple. So I pulled out the MAC Classic Cutie palette. Now this one is pretty much all purples, and I thought this was perfect for what I wanted. So I'm first gonna go into the light purple shade down here, and I hate this. This has one of those plastic pieces that has all the names on it, so I have to kind of put it on the mirror just to see what the names are. And that one is Style and Influence. So I'm just gonna go in with a Morphe M573 brush. So I'm gonna just go in, put that in my crease. This is a very, very light shade, so I do have to kind of layer it a lot. I do want that purple to really come through. And I'm actually going to pull that down to almost my entire lid. So these are not very pigmented. These are the only MAC shadows I have, so I don't know how other MAC shadows perform. If this were my only example, I would say it's not great. You can't even see it much, but that's what I wanted. I wanted a very, very light pastel, and I think this is the perfect Easter spring purple. I think it looks really nice, and I love wearing purples. So many people don't like wearing purple eyeshadow, but I'm a big color person when it comes to eyeshadow. So I like experimenting and trying new colors out, but purple is definitely my favorite color to wear. I have green eyes, and purple looks really, really good with green eyes. It's a nice complement to the green eyes and makes them pop. So once I learned that, I started wearing purple eyeshadow a lot more. It also works really well with plum eyeshadows. Those look really, really nice. I think one of the ColourPop palettes is one of my favorites to use for that. Can't think of the name right now, so I will pop it up on screen. But I love that one. That's one of my favorite burgundy plum palettes that I use. Okay, so this looks like a lot, but I wanted to get the right color payoff. I wanted the color to come through so you could tell I was wearing a shadow. And I really like this. I love the shade of purple. It's a nice lilac color, which is, again, nice for spring. And I just like how it looks on my eyes. And you can leave it like this and just do all one shade over the eyelid and you're good to go. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to go in with this purple pinky shade, and this is the shade Good Karma. Now I'm going to go in with a LUXIE 249. This is a double-ended brush, and I'm going to go in with the flat side. I'm actually going to spray the brush with some Fix Plus. I'm going to put it right on my lid. It's very subtle, but you can still see it. You can still get that shimmer. If you compare my two eyes, you can still see that it's there. You do have to get a lot of product in order to get the payoff you want. So I'm gonna actually, like I said, I've only used this a few times, so I don't know what works better. I'm gonna actually go in with my finger just to see. Oh yeah, that's much better. Which I normally prefer to apply shimmer shadows. I just like how it looks better, and it normally puts more pigment onto your eyes. You really get that shimmer. So this has a lot of glitter in it as well, which I think is fun. I don't like a lot of glitter because glitter gets all over the place. I get a little fallout, nothing too crazy. And the fallout isn't really, it's not color, it's glitter. I have just a little bit that I'll wipe off. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the big shadow on the end. That is the shade Heart Melter. And I'm going to put that right in my inner corner, just to add a little bit more. I really like this shade. I know I've used this one multiple times. It has a really nice reflect to it. And I'm actually gonna put that on my brow bone as well, just to get that. Okay, so the last thing, I'm just gonna run that purple shade underneath my eyes, and I'm actually going to use a fluffier brush for that. This is LUXIE 209. It's a large shader brush. This I got in a BoxyCharms set. I'm just gonna kind of fluff that under my eyes. I think that's good. I'm going to use the Lancome Monster Big mascara. This is one of my favorite mascaras. It has a bigger wand than others, but I really like this. I do my bottom lashes first. I don't know if anyone else does that, but whenever I do my top lashes first and then do my bottom lashes, me looking like this, my top lashes hit my eyelid and it just does not go well. I have hooded eyelids, so it hits right there every single time and I have to fix it. So I started doing my lower lashes first and it ended up working out. I just really like how this mascara looks. And it gives the look just something extra. You can make your eyes really intense with this as well, but I think I'm only going to do one layer of this for this look because I want it to be soft and subtle. So there we go. I'm going to do something really quick with my lips. I'm just going to use the Aquarius liner from ColourPop. This was with Kathleen Lights. And I'm going to just put that pretty much everywhere. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. I was going to put a gloss on, but I think I want to leave it like this because I think it's a little more natural. I'm just going to finish it off with some Fix Plus. And that completes this look. I think I like how it turned out. It's very soft, very subtle, perfect for Easter and spring. Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!